Hello friends, welcome to my kitchen again for another episode of a pop-up surprise kitchen while I'm cooking dinner. Today I'm making meatloaf. I'm going to make mini meatloaves, and I'm going to make a family favorite, Johnnycake, and some corn, and I'll be throwing some potatoes in too, but I don't know if I'll include that in the live stream. I'm just going to throw them in the oven. No biggie. Baked potatoes. So to get started over here, I'm going to start mixing up my meatloaf. Welcome everybody. Now, in case you didn't read it, I cannot see the chat while I'm in the kitchen. But after I get dinner in the oven, I will be taking the camera into the office, and then I can sit down and you'll be able to see me as I read your comments. So meanwhile, just chat with each other, have a good old time, and I'll be with you shortly. So, what I'm going to do is get sneaky here because I like to put quite a bit of veggies in my meatloaf. I used to do it to get veggies into my kids, and now I do it to get veggies into my husband because he's not a big veggie eater either. And you can put any kind of veggies in you like. I've been known to sneak some eggplant in and things from the garden that he'd say, oh, I don't like that. But he doesn't mind it if it's, you know, in there and he doesn't necessarily taste it or see it. But today I'm just going to use some normal stuff like onions and carrots and celery and peppers and things like that. So I start with a blender because I'm going to pulverize those veggies so they're unrecognizable. A good trick for parents who want to get veggies into their kids. So I've got chopped up carrots here. And I'm going to put in a 1/4 cup of carrots. Quarter cup of celery. 1/4 cup of green peppers. I sound out of breath because I'm nervous and I forget to breathe. A 1/4 cup of onions. Okay. I'm going to throw in 2 peeled garlic cloves. Now, I'm going to be using ground turkey. And it makes a difference because if you're using ground beef, it's got more grease in it, more oil, more fat. And so it makes a difference how much oatmeal or egg you need to put in. For my ground turkey, the veggies help moisten it up because ground turkey, you know, is a lot less moist than, say, ground beef. But if you're using veal or turkey or something that's a lot leaner, then you might want to be careful, add a little oil or add a lot of veggies. Don't go overboard with the binders like eggs and bread or breadcrumbs or oatmeal. So because I'm using quite a few veggies, I'm hoping that I can put in a 1/4 cup of oatmeal. And that's what I'm doing, 1/4 cup of oatmeal. And for seasoning, might as well throw those in the blender too. Let me get my teaspoon. I'm just going to lightly season. I'm putting a teaspoon of Italian seasoning. Teaspoon of salt. This is Himalaya pink salt. That's why it looks strange. And probably 1/2 teaspoon of pepper. Get that all in there to season up the meat really nice. Because, again, turkey's a little blander. I am going to add 1 egg. Like you might for a meatloaf. Now, let me check my ingredients. Green pepper, onion, garlic, celery, egg, oatmeal, salt, pepper, carrots, Italian seasoning. I just need to get the catsup. Now you can leave this out if you like, or you could use tomato sauce. I put in about 2 tablespoons of ketchup just to give it a little zip in the flavor. So now you just let her rip. And that looks good. All right, I have a pound of ground turkey. And I'm going to put that in my bowl. And then we're going to add all these good veggies and seasonings. And then I'm going to mix it with the implements God gave me, my impeccably clean hands. Let me get every bit of that mixed in evenly, of course. Yeah, that looks like a good consistency. Now I'm also, let's see if I can turn this a little bit. There. I'm also going to be doing canning today, but not on the live stream. I'll be making a canning video after I'm done cooking. So I'm going to be canning soups, 7 quarts of soup. I have leftover turkey that I cooked last week and broth. And I have leftover corned beef and broth that's flavored with some cabbage and taters and the like. So I'm going to strain that and then put it together. Oh, nuts, that pepper's going to make me sneeze. I'm fighting it. I don't want to sneeze. All right, that's mixed up really well. Now, I've got a cupcake tin here, or actually cupcake ceramic thingy. And I did grease it. I probably don't have to because the ceramic is supposed to make it so you don't have to, and there is some oil in the meat, but just to be sure I greased it. Alright, so now I'm just going to put the meat into the loaf pan. And these will make mini meatloaves. And these cook really quickly. So I like them for when I need a quick meal. And my husband loves them. And so do my kids. I'm actually going to have a little bit left over. So I'm going to get myself a little ramekin. And I'll cook another one in the ramekin. This one I'm not greasing, so we'll see if it makes a difference or not. Here we go, another little meatloaf in the ramekin. Now this should probably go in for 350 for not too long, maybe 20 minutes. You know, just check it. You want the juices to be clear. You want the centers not to be pink. But I'm not going to put it in just yet. I'm going to start making my Johnnycake. Let me wash my hands. Okay. Now I'll swivel you around to where I have my Johnnycake set up. Right here. Now I need to tell you about this recipe. When we were raising our 7 kids and money was super tight, I came up with this recipe because it was cheap to make and the kids love Johnnycake. And I made it sweeter. It isn't like southern cornbread because that's not very sweet. This is definitely more of a cake consistency, like a Johnnycake, and it's got more sugar in it. But I had been making this recipe when my kids were little, and it's not low fat and it's not low sugar, so it isn't real diet friendly. So there were a number of years when I just stopped making it because I was trying not to eat the more fattening things. I'm splurging tonight. But when I had stopped making it, I lost the recipe. And when the kids started asking me after they started coming around again, after they had left the house and had gotten married and come back with kids of their own, Mom, make your Johnnycake recipe. And I tried to do it from memory, and it never came out just right. So I thought it was gone forever. I just couldn't find it. Well, my mom passed away, over a decade ago. And I was going through her things, and I found this. And I remembered when I found it that my dad had loved this Johnnycake, and Mom had asked for the recipe. And I had told her it, and she actually she actually wrote it out herself. So that's my mom's handwriting. So I was thrilled to find this recipe. And I made it up again, and it tasted like the cornbread we were missing, the Johnnycake. So that's my little story with my Johnnycake. Here it says, I had lost this recipe. 13 years after my mom died, I found this card in her recipe box. Thanks, Mom, for giving me back my recipe. So, this is how we do the Johnnycake. First, we're going to cream together the fat and the sugar. And this is the small version. I usually made a much bigger, it was a big 9x14 casserole dish type deep. But this I'm making smaller. So half a cup of oil. You can use butter or margarine if you like. And half a cup of sugar. And I'm going to cream these together. I think I started using oil because we were low on butter and margarine, and I had more oil. And it turned out really moist, so I just continued using the oil. Now the sugar I'm using is that kind that isn't bleached. I forget what you call it. But it's more crystallized. So I want to give it a good mix to break that all up. Okay. So this is bowl 1, or this is actually bowl 2 as far as the recipe goes. Bowl 1, we're going to put in a cup of flour and a cup of cornmeal. I did find some non-GMO cornmeal, and I'm using that organic cornmeal. And a tablespoon of baking powder. I know I had left my tablespoon out. Oh, here it is. All right, tablespoon of baking powder. I'll put that in. And afterward, I'll type these recipes down in the bottom. Okay, tablespoon of baking powder, a teaspoon of salt. There's a teaspoon of salt. Oh, you know what? I'm going to take some of that out because I am having the recipe, and that was the whole recipe. That's one of the reasons I'm glad I have pink salt. Because I can see it. Okay, that should do it. Alright, so that would be a half a teaspoon of salt. Alrighty, then I'm going to whisk these together as well. Alright, I'm going to put 2 eggs in here. Now I have my cast iron fry pan in a 400-degree oven, heating that baby up. Now I'm going to take it out, put it on top of the stove, pour this into it, and then put it back in the oven with the meatloaf. All right, make sure I got everything here. Yep. Now I'll get a spoon and I'll mix them together. Now, you know what? I think I'm forgetting something. I think I'm supposed to have milk in this. I am. I forgot the cup of milk. All right, cup of milk. 1, 2, that's a cup of milk. Maybe not perfectly mixed because of the way I added the milk, but it should be all right. The problem is I didn't want to overmix it, and I kind of have to do a little extra to get the milk in there now. Okay, that is mixed up. Now we're going to go back over to the stove. And I'm going to get out that cast iron pan. That's screaming hot. And just to be sure, I'm going to add a little more oil to it. It was seasoned, but it doesn't look all that grease to me. Well, would have been better if this was totally hot too, the oil. But I think the pan's hot enough, it should do the same to the oil quickly. Okay. Of the excess. And into that goes the batter. And back into the oven it goes. Something like 20-25 minutes. And also meatloaves. Okay. So that's dinner mixed up, and now I'm going to take you into the office and I'll find out if indeed I have been live streaming. Here they are, fresh out of the oven, and I cut into the cornbread. I cut into the cornbread and I took a bite, and it is so good. I was afraid it wouldn't be because it was really liquid when I poured it in there, but look how beautiful that is. Nice crumb on it. It's sweet. It's delicious. So, I'll be putting this up on a plate for when my husband comes home. Ah, hello everybody. Let me see who all's here. Oh, I'm so excited it worked. I never know till I get in here if it's going to work. All right, Lorelei. I'm working, but save some meatloaf for me. Okay, hon. Jatan. I hope it came back on for you, Jatan. Hi, Kitty. Sandy. Sheila. Oh, what's that say? Grandma on a roll. Okay, BanDana Grandma and Grandma on a roll. Living like Claire. Hey, baby. Sweet Eclair. I just decided I'm going to give Claire a new nickname. Sweet Eclair. E like email and being on the computer, and Claire, Eclair. Isn't that cute? I came up with it all by myself. I'm so smart. Okay. Hope's Homestead. Hello, Cherish. And let's see, Carol. Tessie. Hi, Tessie. Yeah, Cherish, I missed your church service this week. I do enjoy those when I catch them. And I'm sorry to hear about John's grandpa. That's always tough. Krista darling's here. Okay. Alrighty. Let's see, Mama Cat. Hi, Mama Cat. I'm glad you like your nickname, Sweetie Claire. Aw. Okay, so I would say that was a successful live stream. Hopefully dinner's successful too. I don't know. I'll have to taste it later and let you know. When this goes up as a public video after the live stream, I'll put the recipe in, and I'll also show it coming out of the oven and serving it up and all that. So let me see what time it is. I gotta, okay, 2:26 here. I gotta remember that so I don't let it burn. Right. Sheila. Your TV's not smart enough to add comments. I'm not smart enough to figure out how to get my chat to work on this little iPad. I don't think it will. And I do have this Kindle that I was trying to use to pull up the chat so I could film with the iPad and chat with the Kindle, but couldn't figure it out. So this is going to have to do until I get smarter. I just will do it out in the kitchen, and you can watch and talk among yourselves, and then afterward I can come in like this, and I can't make anything bad. Oh, you keep believing that, Sheila. Just don't talk to my husband. It's happened, believe me. He will tell you, he'll go way back to when we were first married, and he'll tell you how I got all inspired to get fancy and make duck. And I went to the grocery store and I bought a packaged duck like you would buy a packaged chicken. And I cooked it like I would cook a chicken. I got my Dutch oven and I had thrown it in there, and it was grease city. Just total grease all the way through everything. I couldn't like drain it. I never tried again. I know I cooked it wrong, but I just never tried again. And he likes reminding me of that one. Just in fun, because he does like my cooking. Okay, did you hear about YouTube Live BanDana? You can use it straight from YouTube and see the chat. I will try that, YouTube Live. Now, do I have to, does it still go through the OBS thing here that I set it up with OBS the same way I did this one, so you could, get the announcement? Okay. Burn offerings for a Greek god. That's funny, Sheila. Yes, Claire. Of course you can. Definitely. It doesn't go through OBS. Okay, so I don't have to worry about that. Now, when you go to the YouTube Live, is there a place where you, like on OBS, where you type in what your videos or your live stream's about, and it has a place for your description or information there? I am going to be doing canning later today. I knew I couldn't do that live stream. For one thing, you don't want to watch me 90 minutes look at a canner, and I can't leave the kitchen when the canner's going. So I'll probably be doing that tonight. I think I mentioned that earlier on the intro to this, didn't I? Okay. So while I've got you on here, what other things would you like to see? I mean, are there certain things you'd like to see me make in the kitchen? Certain things about my homestead you want to see? I was thinking about, some people were interested in my kitchen renovation, but that's not very homesteady, so I didn't really think about doing that. But some people wanted to see before and after pictures, and I was waiting to hear if enough asked I might do that. Because when we moved in, that kitchen, well, for the 35 years we lived here, that kitchen was very, very different, because we didn't have money to be working on a kitchen all the while we were raising the kids. So chicken and dumplings. Yeah, I do chicken and dumplings. I do good chicken and dumplings. That's good. Yes, okay. Yes, you can. If you have it defaulted in the YouTube settings, I'll explain it when I call. Good. Thanks, Claire. I need a youngin' with smarts on the internet to teach Grandma how to do this stuff. Like that little kid. Have you seen that little picture with the little boy going like this, and they say, "No, Grandma," and he's telling her how to work her iPhone or something. Those are funny. I also have sewing I want to get to. I have dresses I want to make. I have aprons I want to make. I want to make a prairie skirt out of bandanas. Wouldn't that be cute? And I'm even thinking about maybe wearing that to a conference I'm going to, the Homesteaders of America conference. So, yeah, that would be fun. Maybe even make an apron out of bandanas too. My favorite fabric outlet up in Pennsylvania, they have bandanas for 69 cents each there. They're seconds. You have to look them over pretty good, but I could cut them up and make some pretty cute bandana stuff for BanDana Grandma, I think, if I go back up there and get some more. I wanted to make stretchy hair bands, and I wanted to make some clothing items out of it too. Carol, you cooked chicken and dumplings for dinner today. Now, when you make dumplings, do you make like the baking powder dumplings, or do you make sometimes they call them Tire Patch dumplings. They're more of a, I don't even know what like a doughy dumpling. I like the baking powder dumplings that rise and they soak up the gravy and all that. The other ones are more like thick noodles. What kind do you make, Carol? Tessie, bless your heart. Thank you, hon. You made my week. You know, when I started doing this back in June as BanDana Grandma, I didn't have a clue that anybody would want to watch my stuff. I still don't get it, but I'm really happy that people seem to like them. So, yeah, egg dumplings. Okay. Yeah, I don't make the egg dumplings. I make the baking powder dumplings. I guess it's just the way, you know, we're raised. You know, you're raised up on the egg dumplings, and I'm raised on the baking powder dumplings, so I kind of prefer those. I'm sure yours are delicious. I just made egg noodles for the first time last month, and I filmed most of it, and I'm going to get one of those videos up. But I had gotten it from the same lady I saw do the yogurt in a crock pot that I put up, Simple Food, Simple Life, and I told her again that when I did my egg noodle video that I would give her another plug, because she's got a very small new channel, and she seems like a very sweet person. I don't like the fat dumplings. See, that's just it. We each have our preferences. You like the kind I don't like, and I like the kind you don't like. Okay, I plan on sewing today. What are you gonna make, Mama Cat? Oh, I haven't tried meatloaf in the Instant Pot yet. My Instant Pot is an Elite electric pressure cooker. It's not the Instant Pot, but I think they're pretty much the same thing. And mine's by a company called Maximatic. And it was one of the ones where, I think it was on HSN and Home Shopping Network. And when they were selling it, they kept saying you could do canning in it. And I wouldn't do that. I don't trust it for that, because I don't think the manufacturer knows enough about canning that they could say it'd be. I don't see how it vents the right amount of time. There's no gauge and no rocky thing, so you know where the pressure's at. When I called them on it and I was pressing them for details, they told me that it went up to 12 psi. Well, of course that's good for some areas, but not for others. And they did say not to do meat in it in their instructions, but they said you could do low acid vegetables and stuff in it. So I just don't trust it. I think they didn't know enough when they were. Yeah, I'm going to use my Presto for all my canning. Took 50 minutes for a 3-pound meatloaf. So moist and delicious. Good. Hi, Angela. Hey, T. Yeah, that's just it, Tessie. Egg dumplings the Amish make. Like, we've gone up to Pennsylvania a lot because we go up to Lancaster quite a bit. And when we order, chicken and dumplings there or something with dumplings, we didn't realize that there were different dumplings, and we were expecting the kind that rise up. And when we got the others, we thought, these are dumplings? That's just not what we were raised on. I was raised in upstate New York and New England area, and I think we're more likely to, people from there do the baking powder dumplings. Okay. Two Family. Hi, Two Family. Yeah. I just saw Two Family for the first time the other night, and oh, I forget your name. You just told me on the internet. Tell me again, Two Family. You're Shelly? Sherry, isn't it Sherry? But Mr. Two Family told me he was going to try and help me figure out my chat too. He thought I might be able to do it a different way, but I'm not sure I can with the iPad. The iPad's just difficult. She's a bottler. Hi. I was hoping you'd make it because you had sent me a message saying let me know ahead of time. Well, you're here for the chat anyway, and you can watch the video afterward of me making my meatloaf. And when you watch that, I'll have it all done and on the table, and I'll let you know how it turned out. Oh, good. Thank you. And I'm embarrassed I forget your name because you signed your name on the note too. But I'm not, it takes me a few times before it clicks. You have a small Amish community near you, Claire? I think Lancaster, Pennsylvania has, don't they have the largest settlement of Amish in the United States? I mean, Ohio's got a lot. There's other places that have a lot. But we enjoy going up there. My husband used, when we lived in Virginia, we lived in Hopewell, Virginia for a couple of years, right after my husband got out of college. If you saw my faith videos, you know that whole story. My faith journey, it's called. It's parts 1 through 8 of my faith journey, where I share our lives and some wonderful things the Lord did for us. But, well, we were just getting out of college. His first school, his first teaching job was in Hopewell, Virginia. And when he was a teacher down there, the school would take trips up for a conference to Lancaster. So that's when he first started seeing the Amish up in Lancaster. And it was close, so we could do that. Go up to Lancaster. Australia. What time is it in Australia? And I can't get that season thing in my mind, like summers and winters are flipped with Australia, and I'm thinking, you mean when we think summer, June, and sunny, it's different in Australia? Explain that to me, because I need to understand that. It's like, is December your summer? Sheila, you're in Bluebell? Isn't that really near the Zink's fabric outlet I go to up there? Because isn't that where the Shady Grove? Oh, Ephrata. We go to the Green Dragon all the time, Sheila. We've also gone to Saturday Market down in Middletown, yeah. New Jersey, not too far. Maybe some of us should have a meetup in Pennsylvania at the Green Dragon or something like that. For those who don't know, the Green Dragon is a huge farmers market, flea market. I mean, really big, and has many in buildings and outside buildings and people on tables with their goods, and it's quite the thing. Yeah. Shady Maple, yes, Shady Maple, that's it, Shady Maple. We've been there, I don't know, 4 or 5 times, I think. The Poconos. I think New Jersey would know better than me. I'm thinking a couple hours, but I don't know. Tessie, you're 1 block from Saturday Market. I've probably driven right by your house. Isn't that funny? Well, I'm going to let you know the next time we go there. And I have a daughter that absolutely loves Saturday Market. It's a small world after all. I can see Saturday Market from my home. Well, I know I've seen your house then. Because we always are looking for Saturday Market, and we're looking at all the houses along the way. That's fun. That's really fun. Now we have an Amish market down here. They travel down from Lancaster, though, to have their market down our way in Maryland. That is fun. Okay, Kitty, what am I growing this year? Well, I'm going to try and do most everything I did last year, so it's pretty much you name it, I grow it. Right now, I've only got started indoors my tomatoes and peppers, but I've got beets and radish and peas and collards, cabbage, broccoli, a bunch of everything I could find cold weather. I put it out there, and of course I got my 12 fruit trees that I'm hoping I'm going to get fruit from this year. I only put them in dry root sticks about 4 feet tall, 4 or 5 feet tall, 2 springs ago. And last year I actually got fruit on a few, not a lot, but a few. And this year they are budding so nicely that I'm hoping I get fruit. I've got a gala apple, I've got an apricot, and a superior plum, and an Asian pear, and an Alberta peach, and a Bing cherry, and another kind of cherry, and a Granny Smith apple. These are all dwarf. A Granny Smith apple, an early Winoche apple, and about 5 different kinds of berry bushes, and a big strawberry bed. So I've got quite a bit of fruit going that I hope I do well with this year. We shall see. Oh, Heidi! Hey, Heidi! Can't stay, but need to change out of my muddy gardening clothes so I can get back to work on my skirt orders. Thanks for stopping in, Heidi. I was just telling them that I'm hoping to get some cheap bandanas so I can make myself something out of maybe a prairie skirt out of bandanas. Wouldn't that be kind of cute? Yeah. Oh, I'm in Maryland. If you mean this, Grandma. I'm in Maryland. Well, this has been fun. Yeah. If I can find some pretty much dark colored bandanas, like I was telling the people here, my favorite fabric outlet has them for like 69 cents each, and I could, I think, cut them up and make some cute things out of them. We'll see. I've always got more plans than I do time. You know how that goes. Yeah. Okay, two family. Thank you. Thank you. All right, well, I don't want to drag this out longer than anybody wants to stay. Let's see, I got to keep an eye on the clock, too, to get my dinner out of the oven. Brenda. Yeah. It's nice when the sun comes out. And I'm looking forward to getting out in the dirt again. We had really warm weather. I think most everybody did. Really warm weather, and then a cold snap again, and snow, and now it's warming up again. And it is spring now, right? So maybe it'll stick now. Aw, thank you, kitty. Well, I'm hoping to do this at least once a week. I always have to work up the nerve to do it. But I hope to do it once a week. And if I could get that YouTube live thingy going where I can see the chat, that would really help. So, thank you all for coming by. Thanks, Tessie. And when I put this up, it'll have the dinner coming out of the oven and sitting down at the table and all that. So, look for that when this is ready, after I edit it. Thanks for all stopping by, and I'll see you sometime soon. Bye-bye.